Hello, loves. I'm Christina Rae, and today I want to share with you one of my most impactful rituals. I call this the giving ritual because it's giving of yourself in a way, it's giving of your time, and really it's just service to the world, service to the community. Something that has completely changed my life since I realized it was so important to me. And I started really giving back in high school, actually. Something that was integrated into my high school curriculum. At the time, I didn't really realize the benefits of it. But when I was in high school, I actually was a volunteer in what was called the Visiting Nurses Association. And I got partnered up with an older woman. She was almost 100 years old, and her name was Loretta. And that was the first impactful moment. And I would go and I would take her to get groceries because basically older people that aren't able to do things for themselves, but they're still living on their own. And so I would just spend time with Loretta, and she told hilarious stories. I still remember she smoked Virginia Slims. And so I think it's really interesting, the really young people spending time with older people and realizing that they're still really valuable. And so in each of these experiences, there's always something really valuable and a lesson to be learned. And that's what I've gained from all of my community service experiences. And so since then, I realized that my life doesn't really feel as meaningful when I'm not giving back. And I've even read now in an article that physically we are happier as humans when we're giving back. We are healthier as humans when we're giving back. So it's literally good for us physically on a molecular level when we're giving back, when we're doing good for others and for our planet, for animals. So for a while, I didn't really do much. When I was going through my addiction, when I was very centered around myself. Addiction is a very selfish time in our lives. And when I was just partying a lot, I didn't really give back. And during that time, I feel like I didn't really understand my purpose in life. I didn't really understand why I was alive, what was the meaning to my life. And I think a lot of people can relate to that in addiction and in depression, in different parts of the lows of our lives. We fail to see our purpose. We fail to see that our life matters. I had suicidal thoughts, and I used to cut myself. And during those really dark nights of my soul, I didn't see the purpose of my life. I thought that my life didn't matter. And one of the things that brought me out of that was coming back to community and coming back to giving and service. And you realize that just one act of kindness, just one act of service can change a life, can change the planet, can change an animal's life. And when you make that connection, you realize that you really do matter. Your life matters. And it's such a beautiful realization. And that's one of the things that can pull you out of those lows, that can spark that fire from within again. So when I ended up moving, I was living in LA. And that's when I was in a really dark place in my life. And I decided to move to New York, and I got a scholarship to get my master's in strategic design and management at Parsons, which I was really excited about. And again, I was feeling still a little bit empty, although I was coming out of the addiction at that point, the beginning of coming out of that and the healing journey. I decided, how can I start to give back again? And I connected there with a community. And this is one way that you can do it as well, is just start to connect with your local community and just ask, how can I give back? And for each person, it's different. You have to try out a lot of different things and see what works for you. So I went to the Mexican consulate because I'm from Mexico. And so I always have a thought that I would love to give back to my country of origin. So I went to the Mexican consulate in New York, and I asked, how can I help? I speak Spanish, I speak English. I would love to help give back to the Mexican community. So I went, through them, I was connected to an organization where I then started teaching English to Mexican adult immigrants. And that was a beautiful experience because they were like, can you teach English? And I'm like, sure. I haven't done it before, but why not? And it was a really beautiful experience. And I really enjoyed teaching English. And the students thought I was really funny, which made me feel really happy. And they thought I was a great teacher. So that was really fulfilling. And honestly, I taught them, but they taught me a lot about myself, which has been every experience with my community service. And from then I ended up teaching high school students, and this was right before the pandemic as well. And so that kind of got halted. And then before the pandemic as well, I ended up doing, for my 30th birthday, organizing a big event that was a gala giving back to the indigenous communities of Mexico. And that's an organization called Vida Digna that works with the Tarahumara Indian people of Chihuahua, where I'm from. And that was an amazing, fulfilling experience, because I thought, for my 30th birthday, I don't want anything to be given to me, but in fact, I want to give back. And so that was the most powerful experience of really giving back. So we raised money for the Tarahumara people of Chihuahua, Mexico. So my point in telling you all of this is that there's so many ways that you can give back, and you kind of have to just try. So I tried teaching, I worked with the older people. I had this big event, and now, today actually, I just started a new volunteer experience. Yesterday was my first day. I'm dressed a little bit like this because I'm going to be headed to a farm, which is an animal sanctuary. I've always loved animals. Animals, I think, are the most magical creatures. They're angels. They're so pure. They're so innocent, and yet they get treated so poorly. I can't even talk about it without crying, but so I found just the other day, I was sitting on my couch and I'm like, I want to help animals. So I literally went on Google, looked up animal sanctuary, and 5 minutes from my house, right now I'm staying in a rental, 5 minutes from my house, there's an animal sanctuary. Looked at the number, called her up, and I said, do you need a volunteer? She said, literally, we just posted on Facebook that we need a volunteer. Did you see the post? I said, no. So when you follow your heart, the universe, it just shows you things. It opens up for you. And so then I went over, I met her, and she's an amazing, beautiful animal sanctuary called Del Mar Farms. Piggies, horses, donkeys, sheep, goats, like what other animals? Oh, cows. And all these animals with different stories that have suffered, and yet they are so loving and their hearts are so open. And in that, I feel there's a lesson in a story. Because as humans too, we have, some of us have experienced trauma and experienced so much. And then we get jaded and we get closed. But these animals show us that no matter how they've been treated, what they've gone through, they continue to love, they continue to live, and they keep going. We can learn from that. We can learn from all of these different experiences. And I feel so grateful and honored to be able to now then give back to them, even if it's just cleaning up the pig's poo, cleaning the stalls. It's physical labor, but it feels good. It feels really, really good. It feels fulfilling. It feels like something I need to keep doing. So that's my new volunteer work that I'm going to be doing today. I'm also going to be working with a horse there now that I have experienced horseback riding, a horse that was in a kill pen, and I'm going to help rehabilitate that horse. So we'll be starting that project as well. So this whole giving ritual, what I want you to do is just sit with it. See if it resonates. Take time. Think about, is it animals that I want to help, that I can connect with? Is it children that you feel called to help? Sit and take a breath, and then just connect to all of the different causes, because there's so many people out there, so many animals, even the planet. I've gone and I've done beach cleanups before, which have also been incredibly impactful. The world needs us. The world needs you. And the most important thing is that you matter. You really do. That's a realization that all of us need to have. Because if we all could connect to that idea that we really matter, that our actions matter, we would do better. I think so. We would feel better. And it's the truth. Our actions matter. Our collective actions really do matter. The decision you make today matters. Your decision to go volunteer on a farm, to go clean up the beach, to go help an old lady take her groceries. It matters. Even just changing one person's life matters. And that's what I decided. I said, if I change even one person's life with this video that I'm making today, it matters. It does. Because then that person may be going to go change another person's life. And that person's going to change another person's life. And that has a significant universal impact. It does. So that's the giving ritual. Sit with it. Think about it. Think about one thing that you can do a month to give back. To give back to your community, locally, you can give back online as well. Maybe you can teach some children in a foreign country. Maybe you can do a Zoom class to somewhere. Maybe for you it's just offering money. What is it for you? Because I promise you, on a molecular level, you're gonna feel better. You're gonna feel good doing this. Maybe not right away, but in the long term, this is gonna be really good for you. I promise you, it's changed my life. It's pulled me out of the darkness. It's been one of the most impactful rituals and tools. And it's something that when I'm not doing it, I don't feel right anymore. And when I'm doing it, I feel lit up. So join me in giving and getting lit. So now I'm off to the farm. So let's go shovel some poo. I hope you enjoyed chatting with me about giving. I hope this ritual has an impact on you, and let me know what you think. Let me know how you're giving back today, and I hope it helps. Sending you some love. I'll see you next time.